What's going on, painting entrepreneurs and alike? This is Aiden Smith with the Paint Your Path podcast, and I'm joined by the great and powerful Joel Mercado.
What is going on, everybody? What's up, my brother?
What's going on, man? How's your first week of January?
Man, I'm just excited. I'm
Good.
excited bringing the energy for the new year. Yeah. How about you, brother?
It's been good, man. A lot of changes, a lot of good things on the horizon. We just onboarded a new admin, so got some new life, new energy in there. Just excited. Yeah, same, man.
Yeah, dude. Awesome.
It's happening.
Same. Onboarding a sales rep for us, so super excited for him. And yeah, we got a lot going on too, man. So this is all good stuff for all of us.
Beautiful. Is your day-to-day a little different now that you're like not really like involved with the painting business so much?
Yeah, it's so boring, dude.
Trying to figure out things to do.
Yeah, like I mean, other than obviously doing one-to-one calls, it's the outside of the one-to-one calls, I find myself kind of like, what do I do next? Type deal. So it's been a little weird shift. Like, every Sunday I'd always look at numbers and I would post it online, and now I don't do that anymore. So like, I've been kind of finding myself like, okay, I don't want to waste time.
Yep.
So what are some good priorities that I could focus on and stuff? So it's a big adjustment, right? But I know little by little, week by week, I've been like focusing on more SOPs, building out SOPs, now creating SOPs for my own internal business for Contractors Excellence now. So it's like, it just shifted differently now versus me managing a bunch of people. It's more like managing myself and clients. So it's been a shift. Yeah,
that's probably beneficial, right? Well, definitely beneficial for your group, right? Because you get to now revamp some things, add some things. You have time to really like hone in kind of your offering and what your guys have access to. I assume that's going to be next level now.
Dude, I honestly, I haven't told anyone yet, but the fact that we're on the subject right now, I'll probably release it by then. Everybody's on the DISC assessment right now.
Yeah.
Forever, everyone's like, Joel, how do you do interviews? How do you do this? What do you say? How do you know what kind of personality for the leadership role? So I went in the rabbit hole and I created my own interviewing process personality test. And it's based off of understanding neuropsychology and understanding people. And I took pretty much the years of my interview processes. And of course, I'm using AI to its max capability. And I created a interview process that literally you can create a Google form scoring test. It'll tell you their personality based off of my systems, what I believe that you should look for in a characteristic. And it'll spit out a scoring number, and it'll tell you, are they a builder?
Gotcha.
Are they like, literally, it'll tell you exactly what type of personality you're dealing with.
What role they're made for.
Put them 100%. Just to simplify the interviewing process. So I have a manual scoring card now, and now I have one that you can build your own web form and literally like write it out on an Excel Google sheet. It'll spit it out, and it'll tell you this person scored at 80%.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I went in the last like 2-3 weeks, I've been dark mode and creating processes. Like you said, the SOPs, I have more dialed in SOPs now for the program than I did my own business. So, it's crazy, dude.
That's so funny. Damn, that's going to be game changing because, man, that is something that guys struggle with. Like, shit, I'm kind of struggling with it right now. I might have to hit you up for that. I'm serious, man.
Let me know.
Actually, man, I'm going through something, and it's funny because I just listened to it on a podcast. So I listen to other podcasts, and I try to stay like relevant to what I'm doing day to day, right? Just so it's like informational, I'm learning and whatnot. And one of the guys owns a painting business, and he was like, look, I'm onboarding this project manager, but he wants to own his own company. Like, he's very upfront with me.
Okay.
And he did some discovering, and he ended up saying, look, I think this is a good fit for my company. And he fits all the mold, the values, checks all the boxes. So he's willing to kind of take in that risk, but like with the, hey, just know that I can't just have you be my competitor. Like, let's build together.
Yeah.
Right. But the guy's innate nature is to be an entrepreneur. And the guy interviewing him was like, it's not going to work out. Like, I've seen it so many times. It sounds great, right? But this guy wants to do his own thing. And even though he's trying to do what he can to get into your company, learn your stuff, make some money, ultimately he's going to kind of bounce. And I want your take on that. Like, what do you think about that kind of stuff?
Oof. I've done this multiple times. That's a great question. I mean, you know, Michael, remember Mike, Paint Life?
Yes, for sure.
I mean, he's running his own cabinet business, and he
Yeah.
worked with me for a while. And I knew that his goal was to have his own business. So that worked out, you know. I actually, bringing him on board actually taught me a lot of things too when I was looking for the next production manager. Um, you know, Jordan, one of my best production managers I had in San Diego, just opened his own company.
Did he?
And, you know, obviously, like, I'm not there anymore, but I knew at some point he would want to do something like that. And he was
put
with
in
me
years
for,
though, right?
yeah, I mean, gosh,
Yeah.
he's worked with me for about almost 5 years straight.
Wow.
So, you know, he learned our systems, our processes. He did really well. And when I give examples of like, hey, you guys can have one production manager run $70,000 to $100,000 a week, he's the guy I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right. So, a lot of people don't really like this subject when I talk about it, but I actually am okay with it because I feel like they're going to build new systems. I think they're going to help you see things maybe you didn't, because they have that hustle mentality, that entrepreneur spirit. The only thing that I work on the caution side and I would look at is, are you poaching employees? And are you trying to create a culture where when you leave, you're taking them with you?
Mm-hmm.
That's like a very non-negotiable thing for me. So if I were to onboard another guy right now, I would say, hey man, I completely understand you want to build your own business. I would love to be a part of that with you. But the one thing I'm going to have to tell you is don't poach the employees.
Gotcha.
Right? Like if we can come into an agreement that I can help you, you help me, but you're not going to reach out to my employees and take them with you, I have no problem being technically a competitor to you. And I don't know, I feel like it brings a lot of strengths to you. Now, if you have this revolving door that you're just constantly coaching competitors, then you got to be careful with that, right? But if you do have a guy who's like, hey, I'm committed and this is a 5-year goal of mine to commit you, that's awesome. But if he's like, hey, I'm going to be here for 6 months, what's the cost of you training him for 6 months to then be a competitor? That doesn't make sense either. So, you know, it's kind of a tough answer. Like I told you, my guy's been with me for 5 years.
Right.
So it was worth every dollar, every moment, every coaching lesson, because he also helped create systems also for me that I didn't have to get involved. So, I mean, that's where I'm at when it comes to that question.
Yeah.
I would ask for how long is this goal, right? Let's get on the same page.
It is so funny because I think you talk about this, right? Like once you get into the mindset of a certain topic or situation or something happens, it just happens again and again. Yeah. Right. What's that called? Like plasticity or something? I'm on to something.
Well, yeah, actually there is. It's called neuroplasticity. So that's a whole different subject.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but basically like, hey, you talk about a red truck, you see red trucks everywhere. Right.
Yeah. So that's called the RAS, which is
that's what I'm saying.
Activating system. Yep.
You would think I know this from doing these pods with you. So it's just funny because I listened to this podcast and I actually gave feedback on what I thought about it. Right. And then I am now with the same situation. Right. Not too deep into it, but you know, we're looking for the sales rep for our company. We have been for a little bit. And I just want to make sure I make the right decision because I don't mind holding down sales until we get them, because I just went through a hiring of somebody. It was actually a promotion, but we got them in and they were just too passive, right? I needed more of a high, maybe D, right, in the disc assessment. And they just weren't that. And that's okay, right? So we just said, hey, probably not the best role for you. And now I'm like, okay, I definitely need this archetype. And there has been this guy who's been following me for a little bit now and like kind of seeing the grind and like the journey and whatnot. And he's like, hey, man, like I think I just need a change, right? And like I want to do my own thing, but I really think it would be beneficial to see what happens, work with you. The thing is, he's not near me. He's out of state.
Oh, okay.
So my initial kind of like conversation with him was like, let me see how bad this guy wants it almost, right?
Yeah.
Like, because I get it, dude. I made the move, right? Like I went from, hey, this is my comfort zone and thinking I needed a change and made it. And thank God I did, right? Yeah. So I'm never going to say somebody shouldn't do it, but I want to make sure that he's doing it for himself rather than like, oh, Aiden, I just want to join you and build with you or whatever. Like I want you to say, I want to be here, right? Because that's a whole nother factor, leaving your, loved ones, your family, your friends, everything you ever knew to go start in a opportunity that I know where we're going as a company and what we're trying to achieve. So it's really just who hops on the boat and is dialed in with us.
Yeah.
But like, I need him to say I'm doing it for him so that it's not like, oh, when something goes wrong, oh, I should have never got motivated to come down here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
I
it
like
will go wrong. Like, things
Oh,
happen.
facts.
Is what it is.
Can I flip it on you now that I have some more context? So
Yeah.
here's the cool part. When I view it at your way, my job is to convince you not to join me. Because when I do an interview process, I'm a salesman. I'm going to sell you to join me. So what if I did the reverse psychology and sold you not to join me? And if you still jumped in on the boat, I know you're going to be set up for success because you were so willing to go all in. Clearly, you know my name, you know who I am, you know what I am about. I don't really need to sell that part of me, but I need to sell the other side of me. So I say, Aiden, what part of you can you sell him to understand? This is the expectation. Like, you got to see me on the pod, you got to see me online, but what you don't see is my high standards. I have these expectations when you work with me. If you don't hit these goals, you're not here. If you're not this type of person, then you're not going to work out. If it takes 2 weeks for me to find that out, you just moved here in 2 weeks and I already let you go. Yeah. Are you prepared for that? And if he says yes to that, man, what an awesome opportunity, right? Now that flips it because you've already set the tone. Hey, man, this is what I expect. If you can do this, then awesome. I'd be open to trying you out and seeing how things go. But if you already have doubt, that should already tell you something.
Yeah.
Right. So I would do the reverse. I would try to sell him on not joining you. And if he says, no, I'm all in, like I want to be a part of this, then that's your guy. Right. Because they're willing to do what it takes.
Yeah, I kind of, this is how I approached it, right? The same thing you said, like try and say, hey, here are all the reasons you shouldn't probably do it. Like, I get what you're trying to do, but man, I want you to really think through this entire thing. So we played it out. Like, look, let's just say you come down, you're living off X amount for 2 months because realistically, when you sell, there's like commission lag and whatnot, and you have to get produced. So you have to be prepared for that, right? And the thing is, when you're down here, again, you don't know nobody, right? So life's going to get really hard. And I can't just be there, this is a job, right? I'm not, we're not friends per se. We could become friends. Sure, that can happen. But at the end of the day, like, we're doing this for trying to build something greater than just us. And if your goal is to come down, I kind of told him this, is to come down and then end up eventually just being my competitor and taking everything I know and all the creative things I worked on and teach you, I just can't have that happen, right? 100%. So, yeah, we're at the point where I said, look, let's see what happens. And potentially I can fly you out here. You can ride some appointments with me, get to know me a little more, see the area. And then if you leave and you're like, hey, I checked it out, I saw everything and I'm not super interested, dude, we just saved each other years of heartache, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So I think that was like a good compromise. And now we're kind of working through that. I don't want to put too much information out there because if somebody is that diligent, this is our third time he's hit me up and tried to make this happen. Like, I want to at least see it through, because I respect the grind and I respect the fact that somebody's like, even when I'm saying, here's all the reasons you shouldn't, he's like, well, this is why I should. Now it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah. I like that, dude. I can't wait to hear about it.
So yeah, we're going through the motions right now. Plane tickets are a little expensive on a short notice, but we're trying to figure it out.
For now, then.
Yeah, right. Or have them drive out here, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm going through, man. And we have candidates locally, none that really like so far have stuck out. So I wouldn't mind running him through that test. I'm so serious, just to see what it is.
I'll send you my my interview test and see what he breaks out to be for you.
Okay.
Let me know how it goes.
Yeah. Sounds good. Awesome. So, all right. What on the horizon are you looking kind of most forward to in this year? Right.
Yeah.
A lot of changes. I know it might be hard to see.
Yeah. Honestly, my wife just asked me this. This is a good question. It's a weird one. I'm actually holding my cards to my chest this year a little bit. And what do I mean by that? And I'm usually the guy that's like, hey, be the big visionary, share everything and stuff like that. And I've been paying attention very closely. Obviously, in our inner circle, I'll always share with you guys, right? But I've also been paying attention to what I like to say the outside world, which is outside of your inner circle, right?
Yeah.
And, I really haven't been sharing much about that because I feel like there's a protectiveness this year that needs to happen. And I hope this makes sense for everyone. There is a manner of protection you still need to have with your goals and share it with specific individuals,
Yeah.
right? Because the ones that you share them with should be the ones that are right beside you. Like, kind of think of like bowling alley, right?
Yeah.
They're the bumper lanes to your goal sets where they're like, hey, don't forget, Joel, you said you wanted to do this. Why aren't you there yet? They're the ones that bring you back in the
Yeah.
lane, right? Where I don't want a bunch of people just kind of like cheering me on just to say that, but then yet they're also behind the scenes not wanting that for me. Does that make
This is
sense?
hitting home, bro.
Right?
Cooking right now.
So yeah, man. And
100%.
I've been so big about this is what I'm doing. Just know that as you guys know how I
Yeah.
am that kind of guy that likes to be loud and get things done. And I will still be that in my own lane this year. I just feel like really, I just want to bring value to people, bring
Yeah.
value to their lives in any way, shape, or form. And I just want to move so fast that I don't even know what I'm going to do. Like that's the mindset I'm in this year, that I'm going to sprint, and every 30 days something's just going to come to me. I want to come into 2026 with a mind of abundance and see what comes to me this year versus me. I'm a very like call it out kind of guy and I just go get it. I want to see what comes to me this year, what opens up where I have those opportunities coming to me versus me creating the opportunities. So I'm in a different mindset this year with that.
I love that, man.
So how about you, brother?
That's straight maturity. I kind of want to stop there, and I'll go into mine. But like that is a level of I'm gonna shoot for the stars, and I don't need any commentators. I don't need anybody kind of saying, "Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? You should be doing this." I'll figure it out. I trust myself. I've gotten myself to this far. Now I'm willing to bet on myself, and of course, there's certain things that across that journey, I want to go to certain people and say, "Hey, what do you guys
Yeah.
think? Hey, do you feel like this would be a good direction?" But that's not going to be the tell all on what I'll do. It'll just be, "Hey, okay, I'm going to consider that. I respect your opinion. I'm going to keep it pushing. I'll figure it out." Maybe I go back a little bit, but I know where I'm trying to go. And that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, and this is something that I've seen with certain guys that I know, there's a level of potential that I don't even think that you really see in yourself, or certain guys I know see in their self. And it's hard because you deal with it every day. You have this thought process, like, I know what I'm doing. I know kind of what I've achieved so far, and I know what's happening, but man, it's hard to see kind of like high level of where I'm at and how far I've come and stuff. So like, I don't know, man. I think that really hit home with me too, because I don't want to be conformed or in a box, right? I want to be like, look, sure, we're cool, right? I love this circle. I love these people, but I still want to do my own thing. I want to create my own reality. I think we were talking about this last week, right?
Yes.
I want to say, let me bet on me, and what comes out of that, I might change whole directions, but I know it's what I want to do, right?
Yes.
Everybody that's an entrepreneur should be listening to this right now, right? If you own a painting business, you know where you're trying to go. Maybe painting isn't the end all be all, right? We talk about having a painting business as a vehicle.
Yeah.
You need to look at, what do I want to be? What could I be if I bet on myself, and block out the noise, right?
Bro, here's the cool part. Man, this is hitting some tones for me, man. I found myself lately talking to people, clients that go, Joel, what do you think this is the right thing? I'm like, well, I don't know. Do you feel right about it? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, then it's the right thing for you. Because what I've noticed is a lot of people think, oh, this is how it should be, and my coach is telling me just this. And I'm like, no, it's what I've done that worked, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to do 100% of what I do. And I've caught myself, like, I have clients sending me videos of their SOP. They're like, I know, does that not look too professional? Is that too professional? Or am I having too much fun with this? I'm like, what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, I want them to know my personality. I'm like, then let that be.
Yes.
Like, don't be told one thing and be like, I have to do that.
Yep.
It gets rid of the whole part of the pathway of creating a business.
Yeah.
Like, business is a game. Business is a sport in my world, right? And when you're an entrepreneur, yes, there's certain lanes you want to stay in to get you towards that path, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to do it 100% that way. And in order for you to stand out, you still need to be you doing it.
Yep.
Because the authenticity behind that is what makes people buy into you, right? So if I did Aiden's thing, it wouldn't authentically be me. If Aiden did my thing, it wouldn't be him.
Yep.
So it's like, that's what I think this topic is really hitting a bone and a tone for me, because, you know, I'm noticing, like, I'm watching coaches and I'm watching other people, and people are copycatting other people's stuff, and you can see it.
Yeah.
Guys, be you. Don't force this unperson because someone else is a certain way. Be you while learning processes. Be you while building your business. And that's really what I feel this year is like. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I do know I'm going to do the best I can with my abilities, and crush whatever it is I do, period.
And be a great person in the journey, right?
Yes.
That's the best part about it too, right? I don't got to worry about nobody saying anything, right? Like, if I'm doing me, how can you be mad at that?
Thank you.
Simply.
That's like the simplistic way of saying it. If I'm doing me, how can you be mad at that? I love that, Aiden. You're absolutely right. Like,
yeah, and I love having this quote in my head, right? There's innovators, and then there's imitators, right?
oof.
You always want to choose the latter.
Yeah.
It's super important because it's you. Don't matter how it looks or what it is, it's you, right?
Yeah.
And I love that I feel like I get this from my brother, but like I have that creativeness about me, like that creative gene where sometimes I just feel like something's not right, but it's not because it's not right, but it's not me, you know?
Yes.
And when I explain that to people, sometimes like they don't get that. And I say, look, I could do it that way, but it would be me doing an imitation rather than, hey, I think this is the best thing, and then betting on that. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, is what it is. At least I did what I wanted to do, you know?
I love that, dude.
It's so funny.
Steal that, by the way.
It's funny. It's cool because, like, also it's the same thing as, hey, you're crazy until it works, you know? So we have to start doing it because we want to, rather than, we think it's going to hit this goal and these numbers, because you're going to be unsatisfied doing it somebody else's way, but you're hitting decent numbers, right? The money only goes so far, right?
Yeah. Dude,
interesting.
You know what's so cool is, like, I'm a very data-driven person too. So it's like I've opened businesses in different states, and they've all operated off the same system. But what's the commonality that they're all different? It's the people.
Yep.
Right? And how they react and how they do certain things. And I'm like, dude, it's the same program, the same SOP, the same everything, but each business is different.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, what's so different about these businesses? And you got to remember, it's the people, like you just said, you know, their style, the way they come off, whatever they're doing. It's the same coach, the same partner, but yet there's a different person behind the scenes and doing something differently. So when I start looking at that too, that also tells me something. And it makes me really want to audit myself even more, because then I'm like, damn, dude, was that a good decision for me?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, why did I make that decision?
Yeah.
So it starts to tell you a story, and pay attention to those stories. And here's the cool part. I know this isn't going to be launched because I think this is a cool subject. You got me all worked up now. But, you know, we're both speaking on Liftoff, which by the time this episode goes in, you guys can probably watch a replay or something. I don't know if Tanner will have it.
Mm-hmm.
But for Liftoff, I've been praying, dude, like praying hard. I was like, everybody wants something shiny and new.
I know.
I'm not presenting new. I'm not presenting shiny. Guess what I'm doing? Foundation.
Hell yeah.
To the basics, right? And, you know, this is going back to certain things, like everyone's looking for a brand new coach, a new program, a new whatever, a new this, a new that. And they're not sitting back and auditing themselves of what could they perfect with what they already have, right? Like, I think of that in martial arts when they had professional fighters come to me. They're like, oh, I want to do a spinning back hook and this and that. I'm like, great. Let me look at your jab cross, because if you can't even do that, you're going to get wrecked.
Yeah.
Why is that different in business? Right? So, you know, I think that goes back to authenticity and being really going into the baseline and the foundation of things when you focus on your foundation, you get really good at it, master it, and become you through it.
Yep.
Right? Look at the results, man. Like, watch the results, what's about to happen. So I know I went a long circle around that question you
That was
gave me,
good.
but there's a lot of subjects in that makes me operate the way I am this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited, dude. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah. Speaking of liftoff, just want to shout out our sponsor, of course, DripJobs, all-in-one CRM for painting contractors. And if you watch liftoff, you saw an amazing event. I already know it's going to be, right? I don't have to. And you're going to see this. We're saying it before the event. I already know. I know your topic's going to be game. My topic's going to be game. And Tanner doesn't hit us up just because he wants extra guys. He knows that we bring value to the table. And, yeah, we appreciate the platform. You're going to want to tune in. I know it's already done by the time you hear this. But DripJobs, 60-day free trial, PATH, Path 60. Get your free 60 days. Man, that was awesome. It's important that we talk about this stuff as well, right? Because this is the stuff that gets overlooked. This is the stuff that guys struggle with. And it's the mind, it's the mental battles, it's the foundations, right?
Yes.
And we go through it ourselves. And that's why we're kind of giving you this right now so you guys can avoid it and be more prepared, you know, man. So what's cool is like, when also you have events like these and you get all these different perspectives, you're going to want to try and take and say, how can I implement?
Yes.
How many guys do you coach that come to you and say, well, how does this other person do it? I know they're good at that. How do they do it? And you're like, I know how they do it, but I don't know if that's the best for you.
Right.
And they're calling you and they're like, hey, Joe, like I saw this company or this blah, 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 and I want to see what that's about. What do you think about this? And you're like, I don't know if that's the best thing for you, right? like basically what I'm saying is, just like we were saying, you have to stop imitating, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have to start figuring it out for yourself. I mean, there's so many variables, different areas, different, like you said, styles of people that might not work with.
Yep.
You might not be able to train or lead a team that could execute at that, right? Or you might not be ready for that. We're always looking, especially the guys that like in the painting industry, they're always looking for a quick fix, right?
Yeah. It's wild. First of all, to answer that question, yes, a lot of people do that. And here's the cool part. Like, you and I have been around now long enough to watch trends, behaviors, patterns.
Yeah.
And here's the cool part. There's nothing better than when I see someone doesn't sign up with me and signs up with you or signs up with whoever else. And I watch that online and I go, oh, that's great. They went with that person. That means they resonated with them.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I want you guys to take that away from today's podcast. Listen, I'm not going to be for everyone. Aiden's not going to be for everyone. We're very particular personalities. And when you connect with us, you're going to see the results because you connect, you resonate, and you're going to execute. When you don't resonate, you're not going to execute what we tell you because it's just the message isn't going to be there for you. You're not going to feel it. And you're going to blame us for the lack of what actions you're taking in every other coaching program or every other customer or every other issue you have in your life. So, resonate, execute, and stay focused. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? Like, if they find you, Aiden, and they coach with you, dude, look at all the results. Like, I can't wait till they see the next podcast that you're about to drop on the last podcast that you did and see the results. The results speak for themselves.
Yeah. There's
no special hack. It's a process, follow up, follow through, and a story, right? So, I see it all the time, brother. I see it all the time.
Yeah, and I'll speak about Luis because we just had him on the pod. But, man, this is a guy who I remember I asked him, I said, what did you get out of joining? Like, what did you expect and what did you, like, see? And he was like, I felt heard. Like I was held accountable, and I appreciate the community, right? Like, not a process, not a system. It was, we went above and beyond to make sure the relationship was strong and that I felt comfortable and we both felt comfortable enough challenging each other.
Yeah.
Right. So with that, as a 22-year-old, he was able to, without much painting experience, like he barely knows what primer is and what products to use. He knows the basics. He knows like very basics, right? And what they do. But he was able to go and sell 80 plus K in a month at 22 because he discovered something that is intrinsically important in our business, and that is connecting with the client, building that relationship, asking them about them, their why, right? And it was because kind of like what we built our stuff on, right?
Yeah.
We make sure that the relationship's good. I discover what they need and what they want to do, and then we build off of that. And he took that, it resonated with him, and now he does that in his sales, in his company. It's creating a better culture. Like all these things come out of like that seed that we're help planting, where a lot of other people or coaches or programs, it's like, here are just this, systems, join this group call, you'll get, you'll maybe get a couple questions answered, but it's not like that relationship. It's not that, hey, I want to see you win. If you come to this next call and it's not done, there's a problem. Don't show up,
Yep. I love that. Because that's the accountability factor now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have that, again, people are going to make excuses. That's what we do best. So
very true. Interesting. Good stuff, man. We tackled a lot there. What I want to know also is when it comes to you deal with a lot of guys in different areas.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to like, let's just say the slow season, right?
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about the slow season because we just passed it. Like I want to kind of go back to how can somebody prepare for that?
I love that.
I know we covered that in another episode, but this guy in December just had his best month, 80K, right?
Yep.
Hopefully that's the baseline going forward, if not more.
Yeah.
But I want guys to have the mindset that they have to be ready ahead of time. Let's talk about it right now.
Yeah. I love that you're saying that, man, because you hit it best. The guy hit his best month in the slowest season for everybody else. What shifted? Notice what Aiden said earlier, the accountability. There was a shift, right? A whole different lens in this guy's filter now based off of what you told him. He didn't know any different. He just said, okay, coach, I'm going to follow. He almost probably followed blindly and just executed and landed 80K. Imagine what happens 3 months from now. We're probably going to talk about it. It's going to be 150, 200.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just what it is. Like if he did 80 in December, not really doing
that's what I was saying,
bro, in 90 days, he's going to hit 150, 200. And we're going to talk about that 90 days from now, which is, I can't wait for that call, right? Like that's going to be sick. And it's all the shift in the mindset. So here's the biggest thing is I always teach this all the time. I say, what are you doing 90 days ago? Because what you did 90 days ago is showing up to you today.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're failing today, you failed something 90 days ago. You better audit that. And people don't want to hear this, right, Aiden? Like they don't want to hear, dude, you were chilling 90 days ago. That's why you're hurting now. And guess what? You're chilling now because you're slow. So guess what? In 90 days, I already know what kind of phone call I'm going to have. Yep. I already know what you're going to say. I can predict the future based off your habits, period. Right? So the biggest thing is what are you doing time management wise? What are you prioritizing? What are your daily tasks? Are you focused on SOPs or you're just getting your ass out there and selling because there's no time for SOP building right now? You need to fill up the schedule, then focus on the other things, right? So what I think is a lot of people like to feel busy, but they're busy not being productive.
Yeah.
They're being busy because they're playing a psychological thing in their mind to make themselves feel better about what they're avoiding.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the mindset behind it that needs to shift. So if you're listening today, I urge you today, look at your calendar. And if it ain't revenue producing, get rid of everything else. If you're slow right now, I don't want to hear that you're like, oh, I'm creating this production schedule right now because you've got nothing to produce. Stop.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I talk about that a lot. That's income generating activities, right? What are you doing right now that's going to generate income for your company?
Correct.
And it's extremely important that you identify what those are and put them into your schedule. And if there's not enough, you're not going to make that much money, right? 100%. Simply put. And then as far as like, hey, showing up and actually being efficient with your time and take advantage of the time that's there. I think Jason Phillips just shared this on his Facebook, and it was like, are you showing up as the leader your company requires in the future, basically? Right.
Yes.
I think I butchered that a little bit, but right now, what are you doing to show up to be the company's leader that they need for the future company? You know where you're going. You talk about the goals. You talk about what's going to happen. 2026, you just outlined it for your company and you got them all riled up. Are you doing what it takes every single day to actually get there?
Yeah.
Are you setting the example?
I love that. You're absolutely right. That was out today for sure. And I connected with that because we get so lost in the day to day that we forget what we need to show up for the future.
Yeah.
Because, when you come up and show your team, oh, we're slow, and you keep bringing that mentality to them, what do you think shows up to them and how they start to react?
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, hey, this is where we're at. This is where we're going. This is what it's going to take to get there. This is the priorities for you. This is the priorities for you. Let's go. Right.
And you know what, too, man? Sorry to cut. Go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
go ahead, brother. It's in your mind. Go ahead.
I just got this is why I love having guys like you, Alex, like these other different level thinkers, because when things are going wrong, right, I'll get a negative mindset, scarcity mindset, and I'll be real with you. Hey, this is what I'm going through. And then they say, okay. You say, okay. Alex says, okay. Here's the opportunity you have now.
Yes.
Right? You flip it. And it's like you get to show yourself what you're made of. You're in this situation, and it is what it is. But guess what? You get to now do it, come through on the other side, and look back and say, can't do that again, but if it ever happens again, I know how to deal with it. That's a strength.
What you just said earlier about the Jason Phillips clip is exactly what you just did right there.
Yeah.
How do you show up for that leader? Well, guess what? When you show up as a leader like that and you look at the opportunity, you go through it, now you can reteach it. That's the opportunity as a leader, where when you are slow, you can show up to your team and be like, I've been here. This is what it's going to take to get us through the other side. And when you speak that language to your team, they buy in. And when they buy in and take action, guess what? No more slow season. Because everyone that went out and executed, you didn't motivate them. You just got them to look at something differently as a leader. That's what Jason's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you just demonstrated on that conversation. It's all linked. Right?
I was not wired like this a year ago. To be so honest.
Brother, it's crazy to see your growth on an individual mindset level. Because, obviously, I've seen you do all the SOPs. You're a king SOP. When I think SOP, I think Aiden. I'm like, this guy's got his shit just dialed, right? But, dude, your growth in the last year of your shifting of mindset, too, has been exponentially out the roof, dude. The way you speak, the way you carry, it shows, man. So,
kudos. Well, here's the cool thing, guys. I appreciate you sharing that and, letting me know, because it's always cool to kind of just see other people's perspective. Yeah. But at the same time, look at our camera setup. Look at our mics. Look at our backgrounds. We're continuously investing in this. We're continuously trying to get better. We're seeing how can we bring more value. Guys, you have to do the same thing with the things you're in, right? If you're going to do it, show up, get better, try again, get up, try again, continue to get better, and things will happen. Yeah. Right. And these guys think it's like a overnight thing. This is week after week after week after week. Okay, you fall off a week, you're back at it week after week. And that's kind of the days that those people that have your back and that are in your technically inner circle see and appreciate. And the reason that you're there is because you keep consistent and you keep getting back up. So it's been cool, man. It's been a fun ride. I know we talked about that a couple episodes ago. But I just want everybody that's listening to see, you got to do the same thing with your painting business. Yeah. With your hobbies, your interests, whatever it is. We talked about Luis. Luis went through my coaching twice. First time, he was a complete novice, didn't know anything. Got the basics though. Got the reviews, got the foundation, got the look, understand he need to spend, right? So we got somewhere. But the second time he ran it with me, this is what the results is, right? Because he already had the foundation laid. It was so much faster of a process. It's interesting.
I don't doubt that one bit.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Love that.
Don't skip the foundational steps. So I'm so happy that you're speaking on that.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly, but you said foundation, so I figured.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm driving home the fact that a lot of people still don't even have their foundation. You can't scale a business
Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably scale it temporarily, but it's not sustainable. You cannot sustain and scale a business without systems. Like, you need that foundation. So yeah, temporarily you could keep building and you keep selling all you want, but can you keep the people around? Because now you have a broken system, and you're like, oh, I want this new thing, and I need this, and I need this. That's just ego, dude. Right? Put your ego in check and get back into your team and get back to day one and build this business the right way. That's my challenge for everybody this year, to be honest with you.
You know, you stuck with me when you mentioned a couple of times. Get some things from everybody I'm around, but momentum.
Yeah.
Big Mo.
Yeah.
Right?
Big Mo, baby.
Like right now we're going through an admin change. We just hired a rock star admin we're super excited about. Obviously injects energy into the company, but that means our last admin might not have been up to the standard, right? That's the reality of it. And awesome person, but the numbers speak for themselves. So we had to kind of make that move. And there's a little bit of momentum loss, right? Because it's like, all right, cool. Transition period. How can we get back to it as fast as we can? But now it's like a ripple effect. Little bit less appointments coming in, less jobs getting landed, less guys getting, busy for work. People starting to think, okay, is this really ship going down or what does it look like? So that's where I get to persevere, get things back. Let's go, guys. We're back. So I know a lot of people deal with that on just a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month with their businesses. And it's so true, man. You got to keep that momentum going. So even though the decisions you make today, like we talked about with the income generating activities, the more you stay consistent, that's what the best leaders do.
Yeah.
Is keep the schedule, keep consistent. Yes, I know I have to spend this much in order for it to all work. So let me just do that now so I get ahead of the game, right?
Yeah.
We've been talking about the same shit since episode 1.
Yeah, dude.
Just becoming a little bit more clear.
It won't change either, man. Everybody's looking for that extra thing, but there is no extra thing. It's the same thing. We might say it differently. It might connect differently one week than the other, but it's the same.
Beautiful, brother. Any quotes for us?
Honestly, I'm more of a statement versus a quote. Make the decision, follow through with the decision, and watch the outcome. That's it. It's super imperative that you make the decision. Stop thinking. Just do. Make a decision. Like, either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. Whatever the decision you're trying to do, just make the decision. Follow through with it and watch the outcome. It's going to be great. That's what I got for you.
God bless you all. See you on the next one.
Yes, sir.